Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Well, I'm Banesh, and I'm going to take your IELTS speaking test today. What's your full name?
My name is Luna Khatira.
Okay, Luna Khatira. Luna, tell me something about yourself.
I'm the resident of Viratnagar. I have been living there since my birth, as I know Viratnagar very well, as I know different places. It is one of the industrial area in Nepal, so it is one of the famous place in Nepal. About me is I have completed my bachelor's in public health, and I have been working since last 6 years in non-governmental non-profit organization, that is Pvt.Ltd Rural Development Center, which works on water, sanitation and hygiene related sector, promoting the health and life of people from eastern part of Nepal. And yes, I love doing this. And I also have the hobby regarding playing basketball, volleyball. I love reading books. That's it, sir. I love me.
When was the last time you played volleyball?
It was when I was in my bachelor's. It was 5 years ago.
Okay. So do you still get physically active sometime?
Yes, sir. I regularly do aerobics and I go for dance classes too.
Okay, great. For dance classes, so you like dancing?
Yes, sir. I love
so what kind of dance are you learning?
Right now I'm learning contemporary dance, but I want to learn classical dance too. I love that.
Why is that?
Because I love the passion regarding the classical things, like the hand movement, the gestures, how they do when they are doing classical dance, and I love the music of the classical music. So yes, that's the thing. So.
Okay, good. And let's talk about food and cooking.
Okay.
What sorts of food do you like to eat most?
I like eating the regular food, which is very much popular here in Nepal, which is being cooked every day in every houses. It's about rice, curry and dal, sometimes pickle also. That is the food I like having regularly and I like the most.
Okay. Who normally does the cooking in your home?
My mom does cooking regularly in my home, and my father and I also support her sometimes.
Okay. Do you watch cookery programs on TV?
Yeah, sometimes, but not so usually. Sometimes.
In general, do you prefer eating out or eating at home?
I prefer eating at home than eating going outside, because these days we can find like the food which are prepared outside in the hotels are not so well for our health, not so well for our stomach. Sometimes we find different kind of ingestion problems and indigestion problems also during having the food. So for this reason I prefer eating food inside the home.
Great. Your part 1 is over, and now we'll move to part 2. Here is your topic card, and you have 1 minute to jot down your ideas, and your time starts now. Okay, your 1 minute is over. Now you have 2 minutes to talk about.
Okay. The house I liked most is located in Bhaktapur, and that's my uncle's house here. I loved the decorations of the house as it had the very good system inside the toilet, inside the kitchen. They had very systematic bedrooms, and they had very good gardening in front of their house. As the house is just one storied, but also they had enough room for them to live in and enough for the guests if they come in their house to live in also. So and the house is well designed. It has well engineering techniques used over there. We can see the separations of kitchen. And from the toilet we can come out in the living room, and we can again go inside the kitchen, and it's very easily accessible to every rooms. And also the color of the house seems so elegant, and they have very good lightings inside the home. They have yellowish kind of lightings which makes house so beautiful. And the flowers which are gardened outside the home makes the house look so beautiful from exterior part as well as from the interior part. And yes, the maintenance of the cleanliness in the house was the major thing which made the house more attractive. And moreover, I would like to say that the house these days in Kathmandu, we can see the earthquake had impacted the house, and lots of people died due to the earthquake as the house were not well constructed. So that house had a very compact thing which will not be affected by earthquake. So yes, I prefer this, and I would also like to make my home like that, as I am inspired by looking at that house. So I wanted to make something like that, and I'm regularly contacting him so that I can catch the same engineer who built that house. So yes, for this reason I just wanted to
Great, you have 2 minutes. So when would you like to build yours?
Yes, sir, probably after 5 more years.
5 more years. Do you think the engineer will be still in the profession, or he might have retired by that time?
No, as per my information, the engineer is very young. So yes, he will be working in the same thing, same sector.
Good. Now let's move to part 3. We will talk about finding a place to live. How easy is it to find a place to live in your country?
Once again, sir.
How easy is it to find a place to live in your country?
The condition applies on this condition, because as we have two parts, as there are rural areas in my country and urban areas in my country. In rural areas, it is easier for us to find a living home, as there will be a lot of houses built with a rooftop, built with mud and all. So yes, it is very easier for us to find home in rural areas, but in urban areas it is very tough for finding a living room, because lots of people will be there for facilities and for having job, for having education. So it is very difficult for us to find room in the rural areas, in the urban areas. Sorry.
Do you think it's better to rent or to buy a place to live in?
I think it is better to buy a place to live in, as that will be having a permanency of my place to live in, than having a rent somewhere, as in rent we need to shift if the household person does not want to leave us over there. But in permanent house we can have our own gardening, we can have our own kind of style, own kind of living house rooms. So yes, for this reason I would like to have my own home.
Okay, good. Do you agree that there is a right age for young adults to stop living with their parents?
Yes, I think the right age will be after 20, because as they will be completing their teenage time, as the parents will be guiding them till the teenage, they will be more capable, more mature to handle their stuffs themselves. So yes, after that they have to go for the further education in the university and to the different places. So this is the time which children had to go out of their home and just live in.
Okay. Let's talk about different types of home. Do you think that everyone would like to live in a larger home?
Yeah, every person would like to live in a large home, but the context it might not support every time. Yes, a person would like to have a larger home, as in Nepal usually a family consists of 5 to 7 to 8 members. So for that region also people will be requiring a large home to live in, and also if there will be any guest coming in frequently, then they require larger rooms in the home. So yes, they like to have larger rooms. And also for the luxury regions, people would like to live standard housing, lavish kind of lifestyle. So yes, for that region also people would like to have larger homes.
Okay, great. Your speaking test is over. Thank you very much for coming.